These films fucking sucked.
Hey guys, Jeremy Kelly back with you, and I have a new thing to tell you guys. At the end of every month, starting in March, I will be posting two new videos that I will kind of be starting a series, and one will be the best of movies, and that pretty much means I will tell you the best movies that I think came out that month in theaters and on DVD. And I will also be making another video that I like to call films to avoid, and that pretty much means films you probably shouldn't see. And those films, and on the films to avoid, it's only going to be films on DVD, just so you guys know. And all the films I chose for this films to avoid video, 'cause that's what this video is. All the films I chose, there's three, and they're all horror, and some of them you may not even know. And the first one stars a guy named Dennis Quaid, and this film actually came out February 28th, but I wanted to go ahead and include it because the film was just so awful. Anyways, it's a film called Beneath the Darkness, and it was really campy. No, don't get me wrong, the film is very amusing, but when it comes to whether or not it's a good or bad film, it's very bad. But it's entertaining and amusing nonetheless. It's one of those things, you just check out on Netflix. Don't buy it unless you just buying it to buy it, I guess. Because I wouldn't buy it unless if it was just handed to me as if I was given to free. Anyways, the film is pretty much about Dennis Quaid plays a serial killer who pretty much buries people alive in a coffin underground, and it literally starts off with him acting all really campy. He's jogging on the road in like a tracksuit, holding he has a gun in his pocket, and he runs up to a guy I guess he used to know a few years back, and he holds the gun up to him, and he's all like, and the guy's all like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's all like, "I think you know. I think you know." And anyways, it's really comical to see him kind of act like that, because it's to the point where it can't be taken seriously. Anyways, he ends up making the guy dig his own grave and buries him alive, and that's pretty much how the movie starts off. Then it goes to these teenagers that are going to school, and these teenagers believe that his house, Dennis Quaid's house, they believe that his house is haunted, and they believe that a ghost lives in the house, so they end up wanting to go in there. They end up wanting to go investigate the house to see what lives in there, and through a lot of course of events, Dennis Quaid finds them, and that's pretty much the gist of the story. In fact, check out a quick clip to see why this film is just better off avoided, as I like to say.
Jack was at the funeral. He just sat there the whole time, looking at me like I had no idea that he was screwing my wife. Joke's on you. Ha ha! Rose, she and I are doing fine. Never better. So you came along, causing all that trouble. You're a psycho. You know that? I'm lovesick is what I am.
And I hope you guys liked that clip. That pretty much, just, sums up, why this film is just... Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking about it because the film's so bad. But, fun watch, though. Anyways, another film that I just thought was just... It wasn't... This next film wasn't, I'll be honest, it wasn't horrible. Like I was saying about Beneath the Darkness. Beneath the Darkness wasn't horrible. It wasn't a horrible film, it wasn't one of those films where you just want to light it on fire afterwards and burn it. But it also wasn't the best film either. It was just, it's better off if you just don't watch it at all, so you don't have to waste your time with it. That's the way I feel about this next one. This next one is, one of the real low in the box office. It was hated. And the film I'm talking about actually came on DVD about a week ago, and it's a film called Creature. It stars Sid Haig and some other people, but the only notable guy in it is Sid Haig, and you should watch it just because Sid Haig is in it, because you get to see him act really crazy. Anyways, Creature is pretty much about these kids go out to they're on vacation. They don't really ever. The film doesn't really ever stay really where they're going to, like this old house That's what they're doing. I just looked it up. Okay, they're going on a road trip to New Orleans. Apparently, the film's not very evident of putting that out. That's one of the bad things. The film just it's kind of just everywhere, and it doesn't really. It goes somewhere, but you're wondering where it all came from. The film is really scrambled. Anyways, they decide to stop at a convenience store, and Sid Haig plays the guy that kind of tells them the directions. If you guys seen House of a Thousand Corpses, he kind of plays that same role. He tells them where to go, and he starts to tell them of a creature named Lockjaw. And as the story goes, Lockjaw is half man and half alligator. And what happened was there was a local man who was inbred with his daughter because I think the wife died or something like that, but had to be with his daughter and lost his family to like a monstrous white alligator, and it pretty much drove him into madness. It like drove him insane, and that's pretty much what caused him to turn into this half man, half alligator. And pretty much you know how the story goes. The kids go out to investigate this house, and they start getting wiped off one by one. You know how these kind of horror films go. But as for what I thought, that's pretty much the premise of the film. As for what I thought about the film, there were some kind of slow motion sequences that were just and there was one really ridiculous scene that after I saw that scene, I could no longer take this movie seriously. Check it out. I want you guys to let me know literally what did you think of that scene? And I mean, it really ridiculous, right? He all of a sudden just runs and he just topples that tent right over. And then the ending of the film was just really ridiculous. It's not a horrible film, it's not horrible, but it's not great either. It's better off avoided. The last film we're getting ready to talk about today is a film called Absentia, and Absentia actually, according to Fangoria, has gotten fairly decent reviews. Actually, a lot of the critics on Fangoria, apparently it was an award-winning film, written and directed by a guy named Mike Flanagan. But I honestly thought the film was it's a very low-budget film. Fangoria called it, I believe they call it one hell of a horror film or something like that. But of course, what horror film isn't called that nowadays by critics? Anyways, the film follows two sisters who start to link some mysterious disappearances to a tunnel that they believe is somewhere near the house, and it's very slow starting off. It's a very slow film. It doesn't actually start picking up. It's only an hour and a half long, but the film actually doesn't start picking up the pace till like maybe the first hour of it, and then the last 30 minutes, it actually starts to get somewhat decent. But if I had to pick the worst out of the three, out of Beneath the Darkness, out of Creature, and then out of Absentia, I would definitely pick Absentia. Would be the one that you should really not even waste your time with. Just ignore what Fangoria says. Take my word on it. I guess you never know. You may end up liking it. Anyways, little more about the plot. What happens is one of the sisters' husband has been missing for 7 years. He walked out during an argument, and now, as the story goes, she's trying to write a death certificate on him because she believes he's dead. So she's trying to go through all these legal and government issues to make him officially dead. And because it's been 7 years, and her sister has came back she's been gone for a long time, and she has came back to try to help her sister cope with the loss, of finally saying that her husband is dead. And then different things start to happen. That's pretty much the gist of the film. The thing I didn't like about the movie was there's a movie named Darkness Falls. If you guys ever heard of Darkness Falls, I'm not very big on it. That's just me. But the film had some Darkness Falls vibes to it, and it kind of had like some wannabe haunted house vibes to it, like some it it's like it was trying too hard. It was a very low budget film that was trying too hard to be what it's not. And that was the problem. There were a few things that I thought were well done about it, but just the whole film itself was just better off avoided, as I like to say. Check out this quick clip to see what I mean.
Danny?
Anyway, so that pretty much sums it up. 3 horror films that are better off just not even seeing. You guys may not even know about these films, but it's just I kind of just like doing this video just to kind of show you guys what I've watched this month and what I think is just downright horrible. So we got Beneath the Darkness, Creature, and Absentia. Hope you guys don't watch these films. For the love of God, just you're better off watching Leprechaun, if you know what I mean. I'll see you guys later.